Unleash your best self. 12. Modern Stoicism, secrets to master thoughts and emotions. In the chaos of modern life, where endless distractions and emotional triggers pull us in every direction, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and out of control. Whether it's the stress of deadlines, the strain of relationships, or the relentless pressure to keep up with the world, we often find ourselves reacting instead of living intentionally. But what if I told you there's a way to rise above it all, a way to master your thoughts, stay grounded amidst the storm, and build a life of true purpose and inner peace? This is where modern Stoicism steps in, a philosophy as relevant today as it was 2,000 years ago. At Stoic Secrets, we believe the wisdom of the Stoics holds the key to unlocking your best self. Through these 12 powerful Stoic secrets, you'll discover how to take control of your emotions, focus on what truly matters, and find clarity in a noisy world. So, are you ready to embrace the tools that will empower you to thrive in both the good times and the tough? Let's dive in and uncover how this ancient philosophy can transform your modern life. Number 1. Focus on control. One of the most powerful lessons of modern Stoicism is understanding what is truly within your control. In a world that often feels overwhelming and chaotic, this principle provides a sense of clarity and direction. At its core, Stoicism teaches that you can only control your thoughts, actions and reactions. Everything else, from other people's opinions to global events or even the traffic you're stuck in, lies beyond your influence. Rather than wasting energy on things you can't change, focusing on what you can control empowers you to act purposefully and build resilience. This shift isn't just practical, it's liberating. Take criticism as an example. You have no control over how someone else perceives you, but you have complete control over how you respond. You can let it undermine your confidence, or you can view it as an opportunity to grow. Maybe there's something valuable in the feedback, or maybe it's irrelevant and reflects more about the critic than you. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This small but profound change in perspective can transform how you approach challenges, allowing you to act with intention rather than react emotionally. In modern life, there's a constant pull to control everything: our relationships, work outcomes, or even future uncertainties. But the Stoics remind us that trying to control the uncontrollable leads only to frustration and anxiety. The key is to let go of these illusions and instead focus your energy on what truly matters: your mindset, habits, and actions. This doesn't mean being passive. It means using your energy productively and aligning it with what's within your reach. Think about how often you spend energy worrying about things that are out of your hands: someone else's approval, the unpredictability of the future, or outcomes you can't dictate. By redirecting your focus to what you can control, like your preparation, your attitude, or your effort, you regain a sense of power. It's not resignation, it's empowerment. When you stop trying to control everything, you create space to master yourself. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you adopt this Stoic mindset, life becomes simpler. You stop reacting to external events as though they're personal attacks, and instead approach them with balance and clarity. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. You can fume with frustration and let it ruin your mood, or you can accept the situation and make the most of it. Listen to a podcast, reflect on your day, or enjoy a rare moment of stillness. The event doesn't change, but your response does, and that makes all the difference. Trying to control the uncontrollable is exhausting, but accepting the limits of your influence unlocks freedom and peace of mind. You don't need to fix every problem or predict every outcome. Your responsibility is to show up each day with purpose, focusing on what's within your power and letting go of the rest. This practice doesn't just build resilience, it fosters a calmer, more confident approach to life's ups and downs. How do you put this into action? Start by examining the worries that occupy your mind. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it is, take purposeful action. If it isn't, release it. This simple but powerful practice aligns you with timeless Stoic wisdom. Modern Stoicism teaches us that focusing on control isn't about limiting yourself, it's about empowering yourself. By mastering this principle, you'll face life with greater strength, clarity, and grace. Ultimately, your happiness isn't determined by what happens to you, but by how you choose to respond. That's where your true power lies. Number 2. Let go of uncontrollable. Let me tell you something I've learned that has been transformative in my life. Letting go of what we can't control. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Yet it's one of the most challenging practices to truly master. Think about it. How much of your day is spent worrying about things that are completely beyond your power? The opinions of others, the weather ruining your plans, or even the state of the world. How often do these things occupy your thoughts, stirring up frustration, anger, or anxiety? The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that clinging to what we cannot control is like trying to hold on to water. It slips right through our fingers, leaving us only with stress and suffering. But what if I told you there's freedom in releasing that grip? What if, instead of trying to control the uncontrollable, you focused on what you can do in response? Let me share a story with you. A friend of mine, Alex, was recently passed over for a promotion at work. He was crushed. He'd worked so hard, and in his mind he deserved it. But the decision wasn't his to make. It rested with his boss, whose reasons Alex couldn't fully understand. For weeks he couldn't let it go. He'd sit at home replaying the situation in his mind, asking, what could I have done differently? The bitterness consumed him. Then, one day, we talked about a Stoic principle I live by. Focus on what's within your control. You can't change the decision your boss made, I told him, but you can change how you respond. Are you going to let this define you, or will you use it as fuel to grow? Something shifted for him that day. Alex stopped obsessing over his boss's decision and started thinking about what he could control: his work ethic, his attitude, and his skill development. Over time, his perspective changed, and so did his career trajectory. Instead of being stuck in anger, he grew stronger because he let go of what he couldn't change. I want you to think about your own life for a moment. What are you holding on to right now that's outside your control? Is it someone else's behavior or opinion? A past mistake you can't undo? Maybe it's even fear of the future. Ask yourself, is this helping me or is it weighing me down? The truth is, when we focus on the uncontrollable, we give it power over us. It dictates how we feel, how we act, and how we see the world. But when we let go, we reclaim that power. And letting go doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means actively choosing to focus your energy where it truly matters, on your thoughts, your actions, and your perspective. Now, imagine how different life would feel if you approached every challenge with this mindset. Picture yourself stuck in traffic on a rainy day, late for an important meeting. Normally, the frustration would build as you think about all the ways this will mess up your day. But instead, you take a deep breath and remind yourself, I can't control the traffic, but I can control how I handle it. Maybe you use that time to listen to a podcast, reflect on your priorities, or simply practice patience. By choosing your response, You take back your inner peace, no matter what the situation throws at you. This is one of the Stoic secrets that can completely change how you experience life. When you let go of the uncontrollable, you're not just avoiding stress, you're building emotional resilience. You're training yourself to remain calm and steady, even when the world around you is chaotic. This practice doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care deeply about what you can influence and stop wasting energy on what you can't. Think about how much lighter you would feel without carrying the burden of things beyond your reach. What's the lesson here? It's simple. Accept reality for what it is, not what you wish it to be. Shift your focus to what lies within your power, your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions. When you do this, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and step into a life of greater clarity and strength. Remember, no one can control everything, but everyone can control how they choose to respond. Isn't that a liberating thought? As the Stoics remind us, the key to mastering your emotions and thoughts lies in letting go of the things you were never meant to control in the first place. What will you choose to let go of today? Number 3. Practice negative visualization. Let's explore one of the most powerful tools of modern Stoicism, negative visualization. Imagine this. What if, instead of running from the worst-case scenarios that haunt your mind, you use them as a way to grow stronger and more composed? Negative visualization isn't about being pessimistic. It's about preparing yourself to face life's uncertainties with courage and calm. By briefly imagining the worst that could happen, you strip fear of its power and train your mind to stay steady no matter what. Think about it for a moment. How often do the what-ifs hold you back? What if I fail? What if I look foolish? What if I lose what I care about? It's normal to worry, but when fear goes unchecked, it can keep you stuck. Negative visualization invites you to confront those fears instead of avoiding them. Imagine, for instance, you're nervous about an upcoming presentation. Picture yourself stumbling over your words or losing track of your thoughts. Now imagine responding calmly, taking a deep breath, smiling, and continuing with poise. By rehearsing how you'd handle setbacks, you make fear less overwhelming and failure less intimidating. But there's more to this practice than just mental preparation. Negative visualization also deepens your sense of gratitude. Picture the things you value most in life: your health, your loved ones, your daily routines. Now imagine, just for a moment, what life would be like without them. It's not about dwelling on loss, but about realizing how precious these things are. As Seneca wisely said, you will cease to fear if you cease to hope. By contemplating life's fragility, you gain a greater appreciation for the present moment and all it offers. You stop taking things for granted and start valuing even the smallest joys. When was the last time you paused to truly savor the ordinary? The warmth of sunlight on your face, the sound of your favorite song, the laughter of a loved one. Negative visualization teaches you to see these moments as gifts, not guarantees. This mindset makes you not only more grateful, but also more resilient. You've already considered how to face life's uncertainties, so when challenges arise, you're ready. Life will always throw curveballs, but with this practice, you learn to meet them with grace and strength. And the beauty of negative visualization is how simple it is. You don't need any special tools or a quiet retreat to start. Just take a moment and reflect. Say you're nervous about a job interview. Visualize everything that could go wrong. You might stumble over your answers, spill coffee on yourself, or forget a key point. Then think about how you'd adapt. Would it really be the end of the world? Or would you learn, recover, and try again? By practicing this, you're not inviting failure. You're building the confidence to handle anything life throws your way. At first, I get that this might feel uncomfortable. Who wants to imagine things going wrong? But here's the paradox. When you face your fears directly, they lose their grip on you. Negative visualization transforms how you see challenges, turning them from threats into opportunities for growth. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, you become the master of your mindset. And that's a kind of freedom no one can take from you. So why not give this practice a try? Start small. Think about a fear that's been weighing on you. Picture the worst-case scenario, then visualize how you'd respond. How would you adapt? How would you grow? When you open your eyes, notice how much lighter and more prepared you feel. You're not ignoring life's difficulties. You're training yourself to face them with strength and composure. That's the gift of modern Stoicism, reminding us that while we can't control everything that happens, we can always control how we think and respond. Negative visualization isn't about negativity, it's about resilience. It's about appreciating what you have now and preparing for whatever might come. And as relevant as this practice was to the Stoics thousands of years ago, it's just as powerful today. So, I ask you, what's stopping you from taking this small step to unleash your best self? Why not embrace life with the calm, unshakable mindset of a Stoic? You've just taken a powerful step toward building resilience and mastering your emotions with modern Stoicism. To continue your journey, leave a comment with the phrase, "Face fears, embrace strength," and let us know how you're applying the practice of negative visualization in your daily life. Together, we're unlocking the calm and courage to face life's challenges head-on. Your transformation is already in motion. Number 4. Memento mori. The phrase memento mori, meaning remember that you must die, may strike you as grim at first, but in truth, it's one of the most liberating Stoic secrets. This timeless reminder isn't meant to instill fear, but rather to sharpen your focus on the beauty and brevity of life. When you keep your mortality in mind, you are inspired to live with greater clarity and purpose. Life's inevitable end is not a curse, but a compass, pointing you toward what truly matters. It compels you to prioritize meaningful relationships, nurture personal growth, and dedicate your energy to activities that resonate deeply with your values. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books every day." When you embrace this perspective, trivial worries begin to fade. The nagging frustrations of the daily grind, petty disagreements, fleeting irritations lose their hold on you. You start to see how precious time is, and this awareness naturally redirects your attention to what deserves your energy. Think about this. How often do we delay the things that matter most, assuming we'll have time to get to them later? Whether it's starting a project you've always dreamed of, repairing a broken relationship, or simply pausing to be fully present with loved ones, remembering that life is finite can be the nudge you need to act now. This is not about living in fear of death, but about fully living in the present, as every moment you spend is a moment you'll never regain. Memento mori also reminds us to let go of grievances and grudges. Life is too short to carry the burden of resentment or anger. Instead, it urges you to cultivate forgiveness and focus on building a life of purpose and fulfillment. In a modern context, this might mean stepping away from endless scrolling on social media or disengaging from toxic relationships that drain your spirit. When you recognize that your time is limited, you'll start choosing experiences that enrich you, not deplete you. The noise of daily distractions fades, and the clarity of a meaningful existence comes into focus. How can you integrate memento mori into your daily life? Start by reflecting each morning on the fact that today is a gift, not a guarantee. Ask yourself, if this were my last day, would I be proud of how I spent it? Consider the small yet meaningful ways you can align your actions with your higher purpose. When faced with decisions, whether big or small, let this thought guide you. Does this bring value to my life, or does it distract me from it? By anchoring your choices in this mindset, you naturally shift toward a life of intention, courage, and contentment. Memento mori isn't just a philosophy, it's a call to action. It's a way of breaking free from the illusion of endless time and stepping into the reality of the present. It's about saying yes to what matters and no to what doesn't. As Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. By embracing this Stoic secret, you liberate yourself from procrastination, regret, and fear, and instead, you discover the freedom to live a life of meaning and vitality. Let this reminder be your guide. The clock is ticking, and that is precisely why each moment matters so deeply. Number 5. Identify and challenge negative thoughts. When it comes to modern Stoicism, one of its most profound lessons is the understanding that our thoughts are the architects of our emotions and actions. The Stoics believed that if we allow negative thoughts to dominate our minds, we are more likely to find ourselves tangled in negative emotions, leading to poor decisions and a sense of defeat. To counter this, they emphasize the importance of identifying and challenging these thoughts before they spiral into something destructive. It begins with a simple but crucial step: awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that arise in your mind, especially in moments of stress or uncertainty. When you catch a negative thought, perhaps something like, "I'll never get this right," pause and examine it. Is this thought grounded in reality, or is it an exaggeration born from fear or doubt? Challenge its validity by asking questions that demand evidence. For instance, if you're facing self-doubt before an important presentation and think, "I'm going to mess this up," consider whether you've prepared adequately or whether this fear is based on mere speculation. When you challenge your thoughts and reframe them with rationality and perspective, you free yourself from the grip of anxiety and open the door to a more confident, solution-focused mindset. This practice isn't just philosophical, it's immensely practical in today's fast-paced, high-pressure world. Think about how often we let a single negative assumption shape our entire day or even define our potential. You may encounter setbacks at work or in relationships, and it's easy to let the inner critic take control. But by cultivating the habit of questioning your thoughts, you start to see setbacks not as catastrophic failures, but as opportunities for growth. A negative thought left unchallenged is like a weed, small at first, but capable of overtaking the whole garden of your mind. Instead, treat your mind like a garden to be tended with care and deliberate action. If you can weed out irrational and unhelpful thoughts, you'll allow space for rationality, resilience, and growth to flourish. The beauty of this practice is its accessibility. You don't need to sit on a mountaintop or retreat from the world to implement it. The next time you catch yourself thinking, "I can't handle this," take a breath and reframe it. Remind yourself of Epictetus's wisdom. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them. Often it's not the situation itself that overwhelms us, but the story we tell ourselves about it. By challenging and reshaping these stories, you regain your composure and can approach challenges with a clearer, calmer mind. It's a reminder that while you may not control external events, you always have control over how you interpret and respond to them. Incorporating this into your daily life requires consistency, but not complexity. Keep a small journal or use the Notes app on your phone to jot down recurring negative thoughts. When you see patterns, take the time to break them apart and analyze them with the same rigor a scientist uses to test a hypothesis. This isn't about being blindly optimistic, it's about being grounded in reality and steering your mind away from assumptions that don't serve you. Modern Stoicism teaches us that every time we challenge a negative thought, we're training our mind to focus on what's within our power and let go of what isn't. This small but powerful shift can transform your emotional state and ultimately your entire approach to life. So, the next time a negative thought tries to take root, remember this: it's not the thought itself that matters, but how you choose to engage with it. By practicing awareness and deliberate reframing, you equip yourself with one of the greatest tools of resilience. As you do this, you'll find that the heavy weight of pessimism and self-doubt starts to lift, making room for a perspective rooted in clarity, confidence, and control. And isn't that what we're all striving for? A life where we are the masters of our minds rather than their slaves. Number 6. Master the present moment. Let me tell you something. Life only truly happens here and now. Too often, we find ourselves pulled in two directions. Either we're stuck replaying the past, wishing we could rewrite our mistakes, or we're projecting into the future, worrying about things that may never come to pass. These mental gymnastics don't just waste energy, they rob us of the one thing we can truly influence: the present moment. The Stoics, wise as they were, knew this truth well and urged us to focus our attention on the now. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." These words aren't just philosophical musings, they're an invitation to free yourself from unnecessary burdens and live with clarity. Think about it. What would your life look like if you could quiet the mental chatter and fully engage with the task at hand? Imagine how much more meaningful a conversation could be if, instead of planning your next response, you truly listened and absorbed the other person's words. It's in these small, everyday moments where we master the art of presence, and with it, we find calm and control. I remember a story about a colleague of mine, someone who seemed to always have their act together. They once told me about a pivotal moment in their life when everything seemed to click. They were a young entrepreneur, juggling endless meetings, deadlines, and expectations. One evening during dinner with their family, they found themselves barely present, their mind racing through tomorrow's tasks. Their young daughter tugged on their sleeve and asked, "Are you even here with us?" That question hit like a bolt of lightning. From that day, they made a commitment to live more intentionally. They began practicing mindfulness during their daily routines, taking slow, deliberate breaths before each meeting, setting their phone aside during family meals, and focusing on the feeling of their feet hitting the ground during morning walks. They later admitted that mastering the present moment didn't just improve their relationships. It made them more productive and helped them appreciate life's simple joys. Their story is proof that presence isn't just a philosophical ideal, it's a practical tool for thriving in today's fast-paced world. So how can you begin to master the present moment? Start small. The next time you're sipping your morning coffee, resist the urge to scroll through your phone. Instead, focus on the warmth of the mug in your hands, the aroma of the brew, and the way the liquid feels as it touches your lips. When you're talking with someone, challenge yourself to look them in the eyes and listen without planning your next response. And when you catch your mind drifting into the past or future, gently bring it back to what's right in front of you. It's not always easy, but like any skill, it gets better with practice. Think of mindfulness as a muscle. Each time you bring your attention back to the present, you're strengthening it. What moments in your day could you reclaim by being more present? How would it feel to let go of what you can't control and instead embrace the richness of the now. The beauty of mastering the present moment lies in its ripple effect. As you focus on the here and now, you'll start to notice that your relationships deepen, your stress levels drop, and your sense of gratitude expands. The Stoics believed that by controlling our thoughts, we could master our emotions, and presence is at the core of this practice. When you live fully in the present, you no longer let distractions, regrets, or anxieties dictate your actions. Instead, you reclaim your agency and live intentionally. This, my friend, is one of the true Stoic secrets, an ancient practice that's just as relevant in our modern lives as it was 2,000 years ago. So the next time your mind starts to wander, pause, take a deep breath, and remind yourself that life is unfolding right now. Embrace it fully and watch how the world transforms around you. You've made it halfway through this content, and I want to congratulate you for taking the time to explore how to live more fully in the present moment. This shows your true commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. I humbly invite you to leave a comment below. It not only helps the channel tremendously, but also creates an opportunity for us to connect and dive deeper into this journey together. If you're not sure what to write, just drop this line: live fully in the moment. So I know you've made it this far. And don't forget to hit subscribe to keep receiving meaningful and valuable content like this. You are the one making the present moment even more powerful. Number 7. Cultivate emotional awareness. Let me ask you something. How often do you find yourself swept away by a surge of emotion? Anger, frustration, sadness, or even joy. These emotions have immense power over us. But what if I told you that with the right approach, you could master them rather than being mastered by them? In modern Stoicism, cultivating emotional awareness is not about shutting down your feelings or pretending they don't exist. It's about learning to understand them, work with them, and ultimately use them as tools for your growth. The Stoics believed that emotions are not enemies to be fought, but signals to be understood. As Seneca wisely observed, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Many times our emotions amplify situations, making them feel more significant than they are. By pausing and turning inward, you can uncover the root cause of those emotions instead of being dragged along by them. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? What triggered this emotion? When you develop this habit of questioning, you begin to untangle the web of your emotional responses and see them for what they truly are: temporary states, not permanent truths. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're in a heated argument and you feel anger rising like a storm. In that moment, your instinct might be to snap, to shout, to let that anger fuel your reaction. But what if instead you paused, took a deep breath, and said to yourself, I see this anger. Why am I feeling it? What's beneath it? Maybe it's frustration, maybe fear, or perhaps even unmet expectations. When you take the time to identify the root, you're no longer a prisoner of that anger. You're its master. Think about it. How much more peaceful would your interactions be if you could respond with clarity instead of reacting impulsively? Emotional awareness doesn't just help you manage yourself, it opens the door to deeper empathy for others. When you learn to recognize and navigate your own emotions, you become better equipped to understand what others might be feeling. You can see their anger and recognize the hurt beneath it. You can witness their fear and acknowledge the vulnerability behind it. This connection fosters understanding and compassion, the building blocks of strong, meaningful relationships. Let me ask you this: how much better would your relationships be if you could truly see the emotions of others without judgment? By practicing emotional awareness, you're not just improving your own life, You're enriching the lives of those around you. But here's the thing, it's not always easy. It takes practice, patience, and a willingness to be honest with yourself. You might fail at times, and that's okay. The Stoics would tell you that failure is not the end, but part of the process. Every time you pause, reflect, and choose a thoughtful response over a reactive one, you're building a stronger foundation for emotional intelligence. You're proving to yourself that you can rise above the chaos of impulsive emotions and choose a path of clarity and purpose. Now, let's bring this back to you. How can you start cultivating emotional awareness in your daily life? Begin by simply observing. Throughout your day, notice how different situations make you feel. Label those emotions, give them a name. When you feel anger, say to yourself, "This is anger." When you feel sadness, acknowledge it without judgment. And then, go deeper. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? What's the belief or thought fueling this emotion? Over time, this practice will become second nature. It's like strengthening a muscle. You'll grow more aware, more in control, and ultimately more at peace. Modern Stoicism teaches us that mastering our emotions doesn't mean erasing them. It means embracing them with wisdom and courage. It's about seeing emotions as teachers, not tyrants. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed, take a step back, breathe, and remember that you hold the reins. You have the power to turn emotional chaos into clarity and strength. As I reflect on this journey, I ask you, what would your life look like if you could approach every emotion with calm and understanding? Imagine the freedom, the empowerment, and the resilience you'd cultivate. Let's embark on this practice together, step by step, and unleash a version of yourself that is not ruled by emotions, but enriched by them. Number 8. Practice self-reflection. Self-reflection is one of the most powerful Stoic secrets for mastering your thoughts and emotions, a practice that has stood the test of time and continues to guide us toward becoming the best versions of ourselves. The Stoics believed that a life without examination was a life not worth living, echoing Socrates' timeless wisdom. By regularly reflecting on your actions, decisions, and mindset, you create a habit of aligning yourself with your core values and principles. You begin to see your life not as a chaotic series of events, but as a deliberate path where each step can be improved upon. Think about how often we rush through our days without pausing to ask ourselves, did I act with wisdom and virtue today? Did I let my emotions dictate my responses? Or did I remain calm and in control? The Stoics teach us that this daily ritual of self-examination fosters accountability, self-awareness, and ultimately, personal growth. At the end of each day, take a quiet moment to reflect on how you handled the challenges you faced. Did you respond to adversity with grace, or did frustration get the better of you? Perhaps there was a moment when someone's words stung, and instead of responding with patience, you reacted impulsively. This is not a moment for self-criticism, but for learning. Marcus Aurelius in Meditations wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." This same gratitude can extend to the end of the day, as you look back not only at what went wrong, but at what went right. Celebrate the times you stayed composed, made wise decisions, or supported others. These victories, no matter how small, are proof of your progress. Self-reflection is not about dwelling on mistakes, but about understanding them as opportunities for growth. Picture your mind as a garden. Every thought and action is a seed. Some seeds grow weeds, habits of anger, fear, or self-doubt, while others blossom into virtues like patience, kindness, and resilience. By reflecting daily, you can uproot those weeds and nurture the seeds that align with your values. You take ownership of your journey and, in doing so, empower yourself to change. As Epictetus advised, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When you reflect on your day, you give yourself the gift of understanding how your reactions shaped your experience. This awareness equips you with the tools to respond better tomorrow. But self-reflection is not just about you. It is also about how you interact with others. Consider your relationships. Were your words kind, or did they carry an edge of impatience? Did you listen actively, or were you quick to judge? The Stoics believed that we are part of a larger community, and our growth is intertwined with the way we treat those around us. By reflecting on your interactions, you develop the ability to approach others with more empathy and understanding. This not only strengthens your connections, but also cultivates a sense of inner peace as you learn to see challenges and disagreements as opportunities to practice patience and wisdom. In today's fast-paced world, where distractions are endless and emotions often run high, self-reflection is more vital than ever. Social media, work pressures, and personal responsibilities can pull you in 100 directions, leaving little time to pause and think. Yet, it is precisely in such a world that the Stoic practice of self-reflection becomes your anchor. By dedicating even 5 minutes a day to this practice, you create a sacred space to reconnect with your values, recalibrate your thoughts, and prepare yourself for the challenges ahead. It is a habit that grounds you in clarity and purpose, helping you navigate the complexities of modern life with a calm and centered mind. I invite you to make this a daily ritual. Tonight, before you close your eyes, ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? And how can I improve? This simple yet profound practice will keep you grounded, ensuring that you are consistently growing, evolving, and living in alignment with your highest self. As Seneca wisely said, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." By practicing self-reflection, you ensure that your tale, however long or short, is one of purpose, progress, and peace. Number 9. Live by Stoic virtues. At the heart of modern Stoicism lies a timeless blueprint for living a good life, the 4 Stoic virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation. These principles serve as a compass, guiding us through challenges with integrity and helping us align our actions with our highest values. Wisdom teaches us to rely on reason rather than fleeting emotions, enabling us to make thoughtful and balanced decisions. Courage pushes us to confront our fears and act even when the path is uncertain or uncomfortable. Justice ensures that we treat others with fairness, respect, and compassion, reminding us to prioritize what is right over what is convenient. Moderation, the anchor of balance, keeps us from veering into extremes, ensuring that we live with discipline and restraint. Together, these virtues form a foundation for character and emotional resilience, empowering us to navigate life with steadiness and purpose. You and I both know that life often tests us, and these virtues are our tools to respond with grace. Imagine you're in a tense situation at work, a conflict between colleagues or a decision that tests your moral boundaries. Wisdom would urge you to pause, reflect, and seek clarity before acting. Courage would give you the strength to speak up for what's right, even if it means risking discomfort or pushback. Justice would remind you to consider all perspectives, treating others with fairness and empathy, and moderation would keep your emotions in check, ensuring that you neither overreact nor underreact, but respond with balance and control. As Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." By living according to these principles, you remain steady, ethical, and composed, no matter the storm you face. In modern life, It's easy to lose sight of these virtues amid the chaos of responsibilities, distractions, and competing demands. However, living by these virtues isn't about perfection, it's about practice. Every day gives you opportunities to apply them in small but meaningful ways. Choosing wisdom when making a tough decision, summoning courage to have a difficult conversation, acting justly by standing up for someone who's been wronged, and embracing moderation when faced with temptations or extremes. These moments may seem minor, but they shape your character and, over time, create a ripple effect that transforms how you navigate the world. As Seneca wisely observed, "The good man is invincible, for he has no contest, since he surrenders nothing that is his own." Practicing the Stoic virtues also cultivates emotional control, a hallmark of modern Stoicism. When you focus on wisdom, you're less likely to be overwhelmed by fleeting emotions, as you're guided by reason. Courage helps you move past fear and take constructive action, even in uncertain circumstances. Justice reminds you to rise above selfishness, fostering better relationships and mutual respect. Moderation ensures you don't let impulsiveness or extremes dictate your choices, helping you maintain balance in a world often pulling you in different directions. By embodying these virtues, you take control of your emotional state and become someone who responds rather than reacts, who remains centered in the face of life's inevitable unpredictability. The beauty of the Stoic virtues is their practicality. You don't need to retreat from the world or live in isolation to practice them. They are meant to be lived in the real world, amidst real challenges. Whether it's navigating a conflict, resisting the urge to overindulge, or making a decision that affects others, these virtues offer clarity and guidance. They remind you to act not out of impulse or fear, but from a place of integrity and balance. Modern Stoicism isn't about lofty ideals. It's about applying these ancient principles to the everyday, helping you become the best version of yourself. So, how do you start living by these virtues today? Begin by reflecting on one challenge you're currently facing. Ask yourself, what would wisdom guide me to do? What would courage look like in this situation? How can I act justly and treat others fairly? And how can I maintain moderation and avoid reacting in extremes? These questions bring the Stoic virtues to life, making them practical tools you can use to navigate your challenges with integrity and poise. Remember, as Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By living according to these virtues, you take a step closer to mastering yourself, creating a life of purpose, stability, and inner strength. When you think about embodying the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, justice, and moderation, how will you apply them in your life starting today? Share your journey with our community and take the first step toward becoming the best version of yourself. Let us know you're committed by commenting below with our slogan, "Virtue is my guide." This simple yet powerful declaration shows that you're ready to align your actions with your values and live with purpose, balance, and integrity. Let's inspire each other to grow stronger together. Number 10. Reframe challenges as opportunities. Let me share something powerful with you, an idea that can completely transform the way you view life's challenges. What if I told you that every difficulty you face isn't an obstacle, but an opportunity waiting to be uncovered? This is one of the most practical Stoic secrets that has stood the test of time. Reframing challenges as opportunities. Life, as you know, is unpredictable and often throws obstacles in your path. It's easy to feel defeated when things don't go as planned, but what if you shifted your perspective? Instead of seeing challenges as roadblocks, start seeing them as stepping stones, chances to grow, to learn, and to become better than you were yesterday. Imagine the power you would hold if every setback became a setup for something greater. How would you approach life differently if you saw difficulties as your greatest teacher? Let me tell you about a friend of mine, Sarah, who had been working tirelessly on a startup she believed in with all her heart. She poured her savings, her time, and her energy into it. But after 2 years, the business failed. She was crushed naturally, but when I spoke with her, I reminded her of this Stoic principle. The obstacle is the way. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about using failure as a tool to grow stronger. After some reflection, Sarah reframed her perspective. She realized that those 2 years of effort weren't wasted. They taught her invaluable lessons about leadership, strategy, and perseverance. Armed with this new mindset, she took what she had learned and launched another business. This time it succeeded beyond her wildest dreams, and she often tells me she wouldn't have achieved it without the failures that came first. Her story is proof that when we reframe challenges as opportunities, we unlock the potential to turn setbacks into comebacks. Now think about your own life. What's a challenge you're facing right now? Is it a difficult relationship, a career setback, or maybe even a personal goal that feels out of reach? Take a moment to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this situation help me grow? When you reframe a challenge in this way, you take control of the narrative. Instead of being a victim of circumstances, you become the hero of your own story, someone who turns adversity into triumph. The Stoics believed that every hardship holds the seed of an opportunity, and it's up to you to nurture it. They didn't ignore life's struggles, but they approached them with an attitude of resilience and optimism, knowing that even the hardest moments can lead to growth. Reframing challenges doesn't mean denying the pain or difficulty of a situation. It's okay to feel disappointed or frustrated. That's part of being human. But the key is not to let those emotions define you or your response. Let's say you're passed over for a promotion at work. Sure, you could dwell on it, feel angry or blame others. Or you could pause, reflect and ask, what can I do differently? What skills can I improve? How can I use this as motivation to come back stronger? By choosing the latter, you don't just overcome the challenge, you transform it into a catalyst for growth. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. The shift in perspective is what gives you the strength to keep going when things feel tough. This mindset doesn't just apply to major life events, it works in everyday moments too. Imagine you're stuck in traffic after a long day. Instead of letting frustration build, try reframing the moment as an opportunity to practice patience or listen to an audiobook you've been meaning to finish. The small act of choosing a positive response in a frustrating situation strengthens your mental resilience, preparing you for bigger challenges down the road. The beauty of reframing challenges is that it helps you stay focused on the bigger picture. When you stop seeing obstacles as reasons to quit and start seeing them as opportunities to grow, you align your actions with your long-term goals, not your short-term frustrations. What's the lesson here? It's simple but profound. Every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. When you shift your perspective, you gain the power to turn even the hardest situations into meaningful experiences. This mindset isn't just about surviving difficulties, it's about thriving because of them. As the Stoics teach us, the obstacle truly becomes the way. It leads you forward, sharpens your character, and helps you discover strengths you never knew you had. What challenge in your life will you choose to reframe today? Take that first step and watch how your mindset transforms your future. Number 11. Develop resilience through adversity. Let's explore one of the most powerful ideas of modern Stoicism: building resilience through adversity. How do you react when life surprises you with challenges? Do you let setbacks hold you down, or do you find ways to use them to grow stronger? Resilience is all about bouncing back, and Stoicism teaches us that life's obstacles aren't just unavoidable, they're necessary. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What if every difficulty you faced was actually an opportunity to sharpen your mind and strengthen your character? That's what resilience is, and it's something you can build every single day. Let me ask you this. How do you normally handle rejection, failure, or unexpected problems? It's easy to feel overwhelmed and frustrated, but modern Stoicism offers a different approach. What if you could see setbacks as valuable lessons rather than roadblocks? Imagine missing out on a promotion you worked hard for. Sure, you'd feel disappointed or even angry, but what if you took a moment to reflect and asked yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? By changing your mindset, you turn frustration into an opportunity to improve, and that's the foundation of resilience. Of course, resilience doesn't mean pretending difficulties don't hurt. It's about facing them with courage and clarity. Life is unpredictable, full of highs and lows, but you have the power to choose your response. Imagine a storm. You can let it break you, or you can stand firm like a tree that bends but doesn't snap. Resilience is about being flexible yet strong, able to adapt to life's challenges while staying grounded. Think about a tough moment in your life, a difficult job, a failed relationship, or a health issue. At the time, it probably felt unbearable. But looking back, didn't it teach you something important? Didn't it make you stronger? Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Adversity is life's greatest teacher." So, take a moment to reflect. What challenges in your past have shaped you? And how can you use future challenges as opportunities to keep growing? Resilience also means staying calm and focused when life gets overwhelming. It's easy to feel out of control when chaos strikes, but Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and attitude. Imagine you're dealing with a personal setback, like a failed project or a financial loss. You can't always change the situation, but you can control how you respond. Will you let it spiral into negativity, or will you pause, take a deep breath, and move forward with purpose? Resilience is choosing the latter. It's about channeling your emotions into constructive action. Modern Stoicism gives us practical tools to build this kind of mental toughness. Start by rethinking how you see adversity. Instead of fearing it, view it as a chance to grow. Ask yourself, how can I learn from this? Or, what strength can I gain here? These questions shift your focus from despair to progress. The Stoics didn't just endure hardship, they used it to grow stronger. That's why resilience isn't about avoiding difficulty, it's about thriving because of it. I won't pretend this is easy. When you're in the middle of a tough situation, it's hard to see anything beyond the pain. But resilience isn't built overnight. It's a skill developed one challenge at a time. Every time you face adversity with courage, you're training your mind to become stronger. Over time, you'll notice that what once felt overwhelming no longer holds the same power over you. You'll feel more confident, more capable of handling life's uncertainties. And isn't that an incredible feeling? To know that no matter what happens, you can endure, grow, and move forward. Here's my challenge to you. The next time life throws a curveball, pause and reflect. Instead of asking, "Why me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you build step by step. Modern Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control the obstacles we face, we can always control how we respond, and in that response lies true power. So, What will you do with your next challenge? Will you let it hold you back, or will you let it strengthen you? The choice is yours, and in that choice, you unlock your best self. Number 12. Prioritize inner peace. Inner peace is not just a luxury, it is the foundation of a life well lived and a cornerstone of the Stoic secrets that can transform your relationship with thoughts and emotions. The Stoics taught that true peace comes from within, not from external circumstances, and that maintaining a calm and centered mind is the ultimate strength in a chaotic world. As Epictetus reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. By prioritizing inner peace, you liberate yourself from the noise and turmoil around you, allowing your actions and decisions to be guided by clarity, purpose, and reason, rather than by fleeting emotions or external pressures. In today's world, where distractions constantly compete for your attention and stress seems to lurk around every corner, this principle is more relevant than ever. To cultivate inner peace, you must first set boundaries, mentally, emotionally, and even physically, to protect your serenity. For example, if someone is trying to provoke you, the power lies in your choice of response. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can pause, breathe, and choose silence or a calm word. This deliberate restraint not only preserves your tranquility, but also reflects strength and self-control. Marcus Aurelius captured this idea when he said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By recognizing what is within your control and what is not, you can free yourself from unnecessary agitation. Modern life often tempts us to sacrifice our peace of mind for the sake of productivity, validation, or even trivial distractions. But prioritizing inner peace means learning to let go of things that disturb your emotional balance. This could mean turning down obligations that drain you, stepping away from toxic relationships, or disconnecting from the endless cycle of comparison on social media. Ask yourself, does this bring me closer to a life of peace and purpose, or does it pull me away? This question, applied consistently, can help you align your choices with what truly matters to you. There are also practical ways to nurture inner peace on a daily basis, even in the face of external turmoil. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and gratitude can ground you in the present moment, where peace is always available. A few minutes of quiet reflection in the morning, a moment of gratitude for what you already have, or simply paying attention to your breath can help you remain steady amidst life's storms. These small practices, when cultivated regularly, act as a shield against the chaos of the outside world and strengthen your inner fortress. Inner peace, however, doesn't mean avoiding challenges or isolating yourself. Instead, it empowers you to engage with life more effectively from a place of stability and strength. As you face the inevitable ups and downs of life, remember that it is not the external events that disturb your peace, but your judgment of them. By practicing acceptance and focusing on what you can control, you will find that even the most turbulent circumstances cannot shake your core. Seneca once said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." Inner peace is your gateway to this happiness, a steady compass that guides you toward harmony and fulfillment, regardless of life's unpredictability. By embracing the Stoic wisdom of prioritizing inner peace, you reclaim your emotional freedom and gain the resilience to handle life's challenges with grace. This is not about ignoring the world, but about learning how to engage with it without being consumed by its chaos. Remember, inner peace is not something you stumble upon. It is a choice you make every day, moment by moment. As you integrate this principle into your life, you'll find that the calm you cultivate within becomes a powerful force, radiating outward and transforming your relationships, actions, and mindset. This is one of the greatest Stoic secrets, a reminder that no matter what happens around you, the peace within you is yours to protect, cherish, and prioritize. And there you have it, 12 powerful Stoic secrets to help you master your thoughts and emotions and unlock your best self. By embracing modern Stoicism, you can take charge of your mindset, navigate challenges with resilience, and live a life rooted in balance and purpose. Remember, these timeless principles aren't just ancient wisdom. They are practical tools for thriving in today's complex world. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic Secrets. Turn on notifications so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos packed with more insights to help you live a resilient and fulfilled life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time as we continue this journey toward mastering modern Stoicism together.